know so many different type of builds, you gotta learn a lot of different dribble moves. And with the new 2K season finally here, we got the best dribble moves for every build on NBA 2K26. As of being a 5'9" all the way to a 7'4", today I'm gonna help y'all guys out from having low ball control to a high ball control. Find the best dribble moves that fits you and your play style. Now, as of all the moves I'm gonna show you, it's gonna be from a small guard, a big guard, a 6'10" build, and even a 7'4". But before I get into all that, we gotta first start with the controller settings. When it comes to the pro stick function, definitely recommend you to have that on default. Don't just put it on dribble moves only. But when it comes to the passive dribble hand switch, disable this. You do not want to have that on. But also another thing you want to take off will be the auto lob to receiver. This is another thing. This is why your passes are maybe floating in the air when you're trying to pass the ball to your teammates as they're on the move. So make sure you take those two things off. And today I'm going to show you various types of dribble moves that you can end up using no matter if you're on a small guard comboing up with a high or low ball control, or even if you're on a 6'6" build that you want to end up really getting in your bag and really get glitchy in. I can end up helping you out with that as well. But even if you want a bigger build and you want to do the standstill dribble, there's going to be dribble moves in today's video, and we can't forget about the bigger builds of 6'10s and up, ranging from a 55 ball handle all the way to a 75 ball handle, for you can be able to get to the rim and get a shot off. Now we're going to start off with go-to shots that are very important. A lot of people sleep on. Now if you're on a smaller guard and you want to try the line right, this is one of those ones you can get a decent speed boost out of, like the Kevin Durant go-to shot from NBA 2K25. Now we got Jalen Suggs. Now I use Jalen Suggs a lot. This is one of them favorite ones to use, especially when it comes to comboing, especially on those bigger builds that's under 6'10". These is one of those moves that I like to do and mix it up with the actual breakdown combo to really get in my bag. Then we have Jordan Poole go-to shot, which actually creates a decent amount of space, and you can really get shifty off this if you combine the moves together and actually time it at the right time. Then we got Darius Garland. This is the one I use a lot on my smaller guards. If you notice, even from last year, I like using Darius Garland go-to shot because literally off the dribble or even off the catch, you get a nice little move and it also creates a lot of space. Then we got Kyle Kuzma for my bigger builds at 6'5" and up. Make sure you guys have the mid-range or three-point rating to unlock these. That's very important to unlock these go-to shots. It doesn't matter about your ball handle, it's all about your shooting rating. And for a go-to shot you don't want to sleep on, you definitely want to try out Bryce. Bryce is one of those ones that's nice, especially for the bigger builds like the 6'8" and 6'7". And y'all already know Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, if you're on those bigger builds, you got an 87 mid-range and things like that, use Kevin Durant. It's actually still the same as 2K25. But if you don't have a high mid-range or three-point rating, the highest you can get to is a 79, use Paolo Banchero, especially if you want a build that has long wingspan or you just end up getting your mid-range jumper, your three-point up only as a 79. Now that I just show you some of the best go-to shots, I'm gonna end up showing you some of the best hop jumpers you can use. Now a lot of people sleep on hop jumpers, and hop jumpers this year is really effective like they was last year, but we're gonna start out with Klay Thompson, as you can do the Klay Thompson glide that creates a lot of space. Then we got DeMar DeRozan. Now if you want to use DeMar DeRozan, it's nice, especially if you know how to combo and you can end up triggering your hop steps anytime you want. You can create a lot of space. Now if you're someone that likes to do triple threat, try Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum for triple threat is just disgusting. If you know how to work in the triple threat and you know how to, you know what I'm saying, do the jabs and stuff like that, finesse it with Jason Tatum hop jumper, you create space like no other. Then we got Zach LaVine. Now Zach LaVine, it could be a hit or miss based on how you play. Now you got to really know your timing when it comes to actually activating or triggering these moves. Just like Stephen Curry. If you end up know how to trigger this Stephen Curry hop step, you can create a lot of space. You can even get ankle breakers off these as well. And if you don't got a high enough shooter rating, you can always use normal. I even use normal on most of my builds. Even if I want to switch it up here and there, I still end up going right back to my normal hop jumper, but it does create a decent amount of space. You just got to know when and where to use it. And then we got Dirk Nowitzki, if you want those taller builds of 6'10" and up, to end up having a 78 rating to unlock that. Or you could use Nikola Jokic. Now Nikola Jokic is nice as well, but you only need to have an 84 rating, which is going to be on the higher end for, especially for a bigger build, unless you have a small wingspan. Now that I just show you some of the best go-to shots and some of the best hop jumpers you can use in NBA 2K26, now we're gonna end up getting into the real dribble moves. We'll start out with the dribble styles. Now with dribble styles, they end up adding a new one of Darius Garland. If you remember from NBA 2K25, Darius Garland was the best dribble style to use on small guards, but this year it has a hitch in it, so I wouldn't even recommend it. And Ja Morant is still faster. Ja Morant for small guards, as long as you got that 85 speed with ball, definitely put Ja Morant on your build. It's no reason that you don't got Ja Morant dribble style on your guard build. Now for my 6'5s all the way to 6'9s, we already know Zach LaVine is #1. No matter what, 6'6", 6'8", Zach LaVine. I wouldn't really want to try nothing else, but if you do try something else, try DeJounte Murray. Now, DeJounte Murray, you need to have a higher speed with ball, which you're going to have to be around the 6'6" or even the 6'7" range to even unlock this. But for my 6'10s and up, if you want a dribble style that's the fastest in the game, Giannis Antetokounmpo. This is literally the fastest dribble style you can use, especially for those bigger builds, without having to have a high speed with ball. Or you can just try use normal or Kevin Durant if you want to end up doing that. Now that I just showed you some of the best dribble styles for any build, you're going to end up showing you some of the best size ups that you can use. Now, Mike Conley just dropped for the season. It's cool, it's decent. I definitely recommend you to stick what you're using over Mike Conley, but it's nothing really like too crazy so far. But for my big builds, y'all know Tracy McGrady, T-Mac. If you're on that 6'6", that 6'8", and you have an 85 ball handle, definitely try to use T-Mac as your actual size up. Now, you can use Jaime Hopkins as well, which you only need a 69 ball handle to end up using this dribble move, which is actually clean and one of those underrated like size ups to use on the game right now. Then we got Scoot Henderson. Scoot Henderson, I definitely want y'all to try this out, even for your bigger builds like the 6'6s, the 6'8s. Now, a lot of people want to end up trying this out. I definitely would say try it out if you don't like T-Mac. Now we got Pro. I've been messing with Pro lately, and Pro has been actually decent to me. I've been getting some decent actual crossovers and launches out of this. But when it comes to small guards, I noticed it's just one of the best size ups you can use. Stephen Curry. If you're on a small guard and you don't have a 92 ball control, try to use one of those ones I showed you, or you have to just end up using like James Harden or something like that. Then we got signature size up for big builds. We got that Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now Giannis is one of those ones that I was like, okay, it's a cool size up, but we got to use Kevin Durant as well. That's one of those two that I would say is top two for me. Giannis or Kevin Durant. But if you can't end up using those, you still have another option as of using Ben Simmons. Now, Ben Simmons, a lot of people is telling me Ben Simmons is maybe better than the Giannis and KD, but it's all preference based on how you play this game. And since I just showed you some of the best size ups, now I'm gonna go into the breakdown combos and combo moves in the game, the best you can end up using. Now, as of a regular breakdown combo, we're using Pro. This is more for my bigger builds that got 70 ball control, but you can use Kevin Durant or you can use Pro. They're literally exactly about the same, to be honest. And as long as you got an 85 ball control, you can unlock Devin Booker being under 6'10". This is one of those moves that's going to help you get crabs or get past your defender as well. Then we got Jordan Poole. Now, if you want to combo up and you want to look nice and look flashy, you may be seeing almost 80% of the game using this when the game first came out. Then we got Paul George. Now, Paul George is one of those ones that's kind of slept on just because his little tween could actually crab somebody. I don't know why it's possible, but he's supposed to lose the ball. Then we got combo moves. The combo moves, Ja Morant. Ja Morant is a cool combo move, especially for small guard. We got Jason Tatum. There's not that many good combo moves to me. Like, even if you would even choose not to use one or try not to use one, it's kind of hard to keep away from it other than using like Pro or something. But Kevin Durant is a great combo move that you can use, especially when it comes to coming up the court. Now, a lot of people be sleeping on when you do these moves. They're better than coming up the court than just doing this in standstill based on which one you choose. Now that you actually showed you some of the best breakdown combos and combo moves, let's get into the nitty gritty that you really want to know. Escapes. Now, the best escapes in the game, especially for my small guards, Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker is maybe the most used escape that you're seeing right now. Every small guard that has a 92 ball control, 89 ball control, hey, they're using Kemba Walker. But the next one that people sleep on, and it's kind of underrated, but it's getting up there now, Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is actually nice. Now, it does drag you. So if you want to go forward, it's going to pull you forward a nice amount. So if you want to try it out, go into my court, mess around with the Kyrie Irving escape move, and I'm telling you, you can get real glitchy with it. Then we got Jimmy Butler, which is every 6'8", 6'6" is almost using, which is one of the best escape moves that you can use in the game. Then we have Paul George. Now, if you wanted the crossovers to be a little bit tighter, and you want to do your escapes a little bit tighter, Paul George is what you're going to use. But the thing about Paul George, you know how you can do Lonzo Ball crossover out of Jimmy Butler as you go into the rim? It's like a little wait period after Paul George. Like, it's a nice little wait period. You can't do it instantly the same way you do it with Jimmy Butler. Then if you're on a bigger build, you got a 70 ball control, hey, Kevin Durant. Use Kevin Durant. Hey, I wish they didn't change the behind the back in the game. It was a nice combo of using Kevin Durant in that Pro behind the back or the normal behind the back. But for other escape, you can use Pro, especially if you're on those bigger builds, if you don't like Kevin Durant. Or you can use Giannis Antetokounmpo if you don't got a high ball control of 65 and things like that. If you're on a 7-footer, a 7'5", or even if you're on a build that's not really a dribbling build and you just want to be able to create space. And then one that slept on is Damian Lillard. A lot of people have been telling me Damian Lillard is cool, but it's still not going to take over Kemba Walker or even Kyrie Irving. And some people even up using Trae Young. Now, Trae Young is cool and all. It's just based on who you are. I still would take Kemba Walker over Trae Young, but it's not too bad based on your play style. Now that I just showed you those moves, we're gonna get into the best crossovers in the game. Now, the best crossover, Lonzo Ball. Number one, if you're under 6'10" and you got an 80 ball control, there's literally almost 80% of the game using Lonzo Ball. It literally is one of the best crossovers in the game. The best drop cross to get into the paint, but you got good crossovers like Devin Booker. Devin Booker's been a great crossover for a nice amount of time. Same thing as Luka Doncic, and they both are literally the same thing. One's an 84 and one's an 85. They're literally the same exact crossover. And if you don't like using Lonzo or you want to use those, Chris Paul. I've been using Chris Paul last year. Chris Paul last year, a lot of people say, oh, is that De'Aaron Fox? This may be the closest thing to De'Aaron Fox if you're not using Lonzo Ball. And then we got Anthony Edwards, which is a nice little push cross, but it's nothing too crazy. But he actually changed direction at a decent pace. Now, with this next one, we got LeBron James. Now, a lot of people, you don't want to sleep on Bron. I'm going to be honest. Bron is back. Bron is feeling like the 2K23 Bron. I'm going to be honest to you. It's not fully the 2K23 Bron, but it's very close to what we had back then. Then, if you want a bigger build and you don't really get what I'm saying, you can use basic. Basic, it doesn't hurt to use basic, or you can even use pro or basic. And if you a starter 4 and you're a bigger build, definitely use Giannis Antetokounmpo. There's no reason why you're not using Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's still glitchy. It's glitchy just like 2K24 and 25. I definitely recommend you to use that if you can unlock that Giannis crossover. Now we're gonna end up going for the best behind the backs in the game. For my small guards, Trae Young is cool. The only thing it is his transition behind the back. As him going up the court and hitting his behind the back, it's kind of risky. But for his standing and explosive behind the back, they actually are nice. Now, when it comes to the next one, we got Kobe White. Now, it's the same thing when it comes to doing his standstill, but it's way more explosive. You can lose the ball. You see a lot of bigger builds using this, the 6'6" or even 6'8". I see a few 6'4s even using it. But if you want a taller build and you just more trying to get to the rim, Scottie Pippen has the best transition behind the back, the fastest transition behind the back in the game. If you're just, one move and go, and you're not doing another move after it. Then we got SGA, and now lately I've been going to the SGA wave since SGA is literally the Curry slide for bigger builds. So if you're on a 6'5", a 6'6", this is literally Curry slide. Everybody's using this. If you can't have a 92 ball control, use that. A lot of people sleep on Darius Garland. Now, Darius Garland was great last year, especially beginning of the year if you didn't want to use Curry slide. But Darius Garland this year, a lot of people are not messing with it, but it's still a great behind the back, and it's a good explosive behind the back as well. Then we have Stephen Curry. The Curry slide is back, it's fast, but also it's good to combo with this year. It's not you get stuck in one animation and you gotta wait for the Curry slide to happen. This year it's actually fast. Then we got DeMar DeRozan behind the back, which you can do a standstill. It gets a clean little standstill behind the back, but also when he's moving, it's not as slow as others, and he has a great explosive behind the back to get past defenders. Now we have Pro. Now Pro is mostly going to be for my bigger builds. I know we just had the explosive behind the back with normal or Pro, and they end up taking it out the game. And to be honest, that was maybe one of the best moves you can use, especially being on like a 7-4, a 7-1, or even a 6-10 build. It was crazy. That explosive behind the back that you just hit 1 or 2 times, it got people open with no problem. Now that I just showed y'all the best behind the backs you can use, now I'm gonna end up showing y'all the best spins and hesitations in the game. And you're gonna notice that all these spins are very similar for one animation. It's the animation that everybody wants to get and trigger every time, and it's that one that I just showed you right there. Now, as I end up showing you this DeMar DeRozan one, that spin right there is the spin that everybody wants. That's the cleanest spin that you can get so you can end up comboing, but it's all based on if you're transitioning. Same thing with Steve Nash. All 3 of these spins are the same. Only thing that's different is the transition spin. As you're running up the court, you want to do a spin, that's the only thing that's going to be majorly different with these actual spin moves. Then you got normal if you're on a bigger build, you just trying to put a dribble move on, but you still want to be able to get the same animation we get on a smaller guard or a bigger build. That's literally the special one to use. But if you want to end up trying something different, Kevin Durant is cool. But if you want that spin, those are the 4 spins that you want to use to end up getting that animation to trigger on your build. Now we get to the hesitations. Now Curry hesitation, this is for my guards, for my small guards. Now, if you didn't know, hesitations this year are combined with your momentum. So if you got at least an 86 ball control, certain hesitation will cause you to do a slow momentum crossover. So if you don't know how to do it, all you do is flick your right stick up, then you hit R2, and then you're gonna end up pointing your left stick to the opposite ball hand. Then we got normal. Now normal, mostly I've been trying to use normal lately, and it actually has a fast momentum. Now a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, momentum is not compared with the hesitation, but it is combined. There's a lot of moves in this game that are combined with other animations, so you gotta make sure you pick the right one, especially with Kevin Durant. Now if you're on a bigger build and you just want to get a decent hesitation, use Kevin Durant. If you're on a small guard, a lot of people, they say, oh, Anthony Edwards is cool. It's all based on if you even momentum on the game, because I know a lot of guards that don't do momentum cross. A lot of them just end up using Kimba and just canceling the whole time. The same thing with the John Morant. It's a good transition one, and it creates a lot of space even when stationary. Now if you want to end up using like Rondo is good too. a lot of people might end up getting on Rondo wave very soon. Just, you know what I'm saying, mess around with it and tell me how you feel about the Rondo hesitation in the game so far. And second from last for the hesitations, Jason Tatum. You don't want to sleep on Jason Tatum. Now, if you want those taller builds or you want some build like a 6'8", 6'9", and you want to try something out, try Jason Tatum hesitation. It does create a decent amount of space and it's nice. It's smooth too. The same thing with Kobe White. Kobe White is like a hit or miss for me. Some people like Kobe White. I ain't really rocking out with Kobe White. And we're giving y'all a large sample size of hesitations and spins you can use on any build. This is the last thing of step backs. These are all the step backs you can use. Devin Booker is the #1 used step back in NBA 2K26, hands down. But it's a step back right behind it that everybody uses well. It's Vince Carter. There's a 1A and a 1B when it comes to step backs, and it's just based on your play style, how you want to end up dribbling as well. Then we got Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry, you don't want to sleep on. Some people use it. It does create space. I like it, especially if you want a combo as well. But as of the main two, Devin Booker and Vince Carter are the main two. Then you got James Harden. Now, James Harden got a few nice animations in it. If you want to end up being shifty and trying something different than everybody else and not using the meta, try this out. Then if you want a bigger build, hey, Joel Embiid. This is what I was using at the beginning of the year. Joel Embiid was the actual step back that I was using on my KD build at the beginning of the year. There's a few other ones that you can use, just like a Pro. You can use Pro. Pro is cool as well. Some people, they want to end up using like KD or something like that. KD wasn't it for me. I'd rather you use Giannis, to be honest. Giannis step back is way better than KD to me. It's his preference, but hey, you might end up liking it better than I like it, but hey, Giannis is definitely up there for those bigger builds if you want to end up trying to dribble or you got a low ball control. Then we have step back of basic. Now, if you don't really got no ball control and you just want to step back, just keep basic on. That's all I can tell you. Just keep the basic step back on, because 9 times out of 10, you did not want to end up doing that move. You did that move on accident. But out of all the moves I showed you, for the small guards, the big guards, even for my 7-footers and 6'10s, let me know how you feel about these dribble moves in season 2. Make sure y'all boys drop a like. Also subscribe if y'all haven't yet. I'm gonna see y'all boys in the next one, man.